The cold silence of the deep space monitoring station was suddenly broken by a sharp electronic chirp. J. Park's fingers flew across the holographic interface, his eyes narrowing as encrypted data streams cascaded before him. Something was different. Something was wrong. For months, the quantum communication interceptors had picked up fragments of alien transmissions. But this was different. The Crixian signal carried a weight that made Jay's stomach churn with an inexplicable sense of dread. Across the room, Hyun Kim leaned over, her military analyst's instincts already sensing the tension. "What have you found?" she asked, her voice low and controlled. Jay's hands trembled slightly as he expanded the data stream. Strange molecular diagrams began to take shape, complex, intricate structures that seemed to pulse with an almost living energy. "It's a weapon," he whispered, more to himself than to Hyun. The holographic display began to reconstruct the alien schematics. What looked like liquid at first glance was far more sinister. Microscopic nanomachines, each smaller than a human cell, designed with a singular purpose: total biological destruction. Yoon Choi, the lead scientist, burst into the monitoring room. Her face was pale, her breathing rapid. "I've seen the preliminary reports," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "This isn't just a weapon. It's a systematic extinction protocol." The nanoliquid was elegant in its terrifying simplicity. Designed to break down organic matter at the molecular level, it could consume entire ecosystems within hours. Forests, oceans, entire planetary populations would dissolve into nothing more than basic chemical compounds. Jay pulled up the intercepted Crixian communications. Their language was a complex series of mathematical equations and quantum resonance patterns, but the intention was crystal clear. They were planning a massive culling of biological systems across multiple star systems. "How many planets?" Hyun asked, her military training pushing through the shock. Yoon's fingers danced across secondary screens. "Preliminary analysis suggests they've already tested this on 3 known inhabited systems. Complete biological elimination in less than 6 hours." The room fell silent. The implications were beyond catastrophic. This wasn't just a weapon of war. This was a tool of absolute elimination. Jay zoomed in on the nanoliquid's molecular structure. Each microscopic machine was programmed with an incredible level of adaptive intelligence. They could distinguish between different organic compounds, target specific biological systems, and replicate themselves using consumed organic matter. "They're not just destroying," Yoon said quietly. "They're preparing systems for potential colonization." The Crixian strategy was brutally efficient. First, eliminate all existing biological life. Then use the processed organic matter as a foundation for their own ecological systems. Entire planetary ecosystems would be reset, transformed into environments suitable for alien colonization. Hyun's military mind was already racing through potential defensive scenarios. "We need to understand its transmission vectors. How does it spread? What are its limitations?" More data streamed in. The nanoliquid could be transmitted through multiple mediums: air, water, even direct contact. It could survive extreme temperatures, adapt to different atmospheric conditions, and could remain dormant for decades if necessary. "This is beyond anything we've ever encountered," Jay muttered, his hands still moving across the interface. The monitoring station felt increasingly claustrophobic. What they had discovered was more than just a technological threat. It was a potential extinction-level event that could wipe out not just humanity, but potentially all known biological life in their region of the galaxy. Yoon looked at her colleagues. "We need to prepare a comprehensive report. The United Earth Defense Command needs to know immediately." Outside the station's reinforced windows, space remained vast and indifferent. Billions of stars continued their eternal dance, unaware of the potential apocalypse brewing in the quantum communications between an alien civilization and humanity's last line of defense. The nano-liquid weapon represented more than a technological challenge. It was a declaration of war against the very concept of biological existence. and humanity's response would determine whether they would survive or become nothing more than a footnote in some alien civilization's historical records. The first battle had not yet been fought, but the war had already begun. The research laboratory hummed with an electric tension. Su Quan stood motionless, her eyes fixed on the microscopic sample before her. Months of frustration had led to this moment. Countless failed experiments, endless nights of research, and a growing sense of desperation. Marine bacteria samples from the deep Pacific trenches lay spread across multiple analysis platforms. What had started as a routine environmental study had transformed into humanity's potential salvation. Dai Han, her primary technical engineer, watched nervously. He knew Su's reputation for breakthrough discoveries, but this seemed impossible. The alien nanoliquid's molecular structure had already defeated some of Earth's most advanced scientific teams. Something's different, Su muttered, adjusting the quantum microscopic interface. The synthetic bacteria sample began to react in ways nobody had predicted. Where other organic compounds would dissolve instantly when exposed to the alien nanoliquid, these specialized microorganisms showed remarkable resistance. More than resistance, they were actively transforming the destructive liquid. Day leaned closer. Can you explain what's happening? Su's fingers danced across multiple holographic displays. Complex molecular interactions revealed themselves. An intricate ballet of chemical reactions that defied current scientific understanding. The marine bacteria weren't just surviving, they were consuming the nanoliquid, breaking down its complex molecular structure and reorganizing its base components. It's like watching an immune system work, Su whispered. But on a quantum level, hours turned into days. The research team worked in shifts documenting every microscopic interaction. Each test revealed more incredible details. The bacteria didn't just neutralize the nanoliquid, they could potentially reverse its destructive capabilities. Initial laboratory simulations showed promising results. Small organic samples exposed to the transformed nanoliquid not only survived, but showed signs of enhanced molecular stability. Day ran complex computational models. The potential is enormous, he explained. We're not just talking about defense. We could potentially use this to restore ecosystems damaged by the alien weapon. The implications were staggering. What the Crixian civilization had designed as a tool of total destruction could potentially become a method of planetary restoration. Su understood the gravity of their discovery. This wasn't just a scientific breakthrough. This was humanity's potential lifeline against an extinction-level threat. Weeks of rigorous testing followed. Each experiment confirmed their initial observations. The marine bacteria, born in the Yao, extreme pressures of Earth's deepest oceans, possessed unique molecular adaptations that made them perfect for combating the alien nanoliquid. We need to scale this, Day insisted during a team briefing. Laboratory success means nothing if we can't reproduce it at an industrial level. The United Earth Research Council was skeptical. Decades of failed experimental programs had made them cautious. But the evidence was mounting. This was different. Su prepared her comprehensive report. Complex scientific language was stripped away, leaving pure, clear data. The message was simple. Humanity had found a way to not just survive, but potentially turn the alien weapon against its creators. Political leaders would debate, military strategists would analyze. But in this moment, in this small laboratory, something extraordinary was happening. A team of scientists had discovered hope. The marine bacteria continued their microscopic dance, consuming and transforming the alien nanoliquid. Each interaction was a silent rebellion against a technology designed to bring total destruction. Humanity's survival would not be determined by massive weapons or advanced technology. It would be decided by tiny organisms, born in the crushing darkness of Earth's deepest oceans. Su looked at Day. No words were necessary. They both understood the magnitude of their discovery. The first real counterattack had begun. Not with a weapon, but with understanding. Not with destruction, but with adaptation. The battle for survival had just changed its rules. The United Defense Command headquarters buzzed with intense energy. Wu Jin stood before a massive holographic display, his weathered hands clasped behind his back. The room was filled with the best military minds Earth could assemble. "We have a weapon," he announced. The words hung in the air, heavy with possibility. Min Yu, the tactical specialist, began projecting complex schematics. The transformed nanoliquid, once a threat to humanity, was now their most powerful defense mechanism. Specialized containment units lined the walls, each a testament to human ingenuity. Drone technology took center stage. These weren't ordinary machines. Each drone was a precision instrument designed to carry and deploy the modified nanoliquid with surgical accuracy. Advanced quantum guidance systems ensured perfect targeting. "We're not just defending," Wu Jin explained. "We're preparing to strike back." Global manufacturing had completely transformed. Factories that once produced consumer electronics now churned out specialized containment units. Every major industrial nation had been mobilized. This was total war, not just for survival but for dominance. The first test came unexpectedly. A Crixian scout vessel entered Earth's outer solar system detection range. Previous encounters had been devastating. Entire research stations had been reduced to molecular dust in seconds. Min Yu's fingers moved with lightning speed. "Targeting systems locked," she reported, her voice calm despite the tension. The drone launched. It was a sleek, almost invisible object, nothing like the massive military vessels of previous centuries. Modern warfare had become a game of microscopic precision. Impact occurred in less than 3 minutes. The Crixian scout ship began to change. Where destruction was expected, something entirely different happened. The nanoliquid didn't just neutralize the ship, it began to systematically disassemble its molecular structure, converting alien technology into a harmless inert substance. Silence filled the command center. "Confirmed," Min Yu said. "Total neutralization achieved." It was more than a military victory. It was a statement. Humanity was no longer just a potential victim. They had become something else entirely. Specialized training programs were quickly developed. Soldiers were no longer just fighters, they were biological warfare specialists. Each unit learned the intricate details of molecular transformation, quantum targeting, and nanoliquid deployment. Global communication networks shared the breakthrough. For the first time, humanity presented a united front. Old political rivalries seemed insignificant compared to the alien threat. "We're not just protecting Earth," Wu Jin told his team. "We're protecting every potential biological system in our region of space." Research continued at an unprecedented pace. The marine bacteria that had first revealed the nanoliquid's potential were now being studied in specially designed research facilities. Each microscopic organism was a potential weapon, a silent guardian against extinction. Satellite networks were reconfigured. Early warning systems became more advanced. Humanity was no longer waiting to be attacked. They were preparing to prevent any potential threat. The psychological impact was equally important. The Crixian communications intercepted after the scout ship's destruction showed confusion. Their ultimate weapon had been turned against them. The tables had dramatically shifted. Min Yu prepared comprehensive deployment strategies. Drone swarms could now be launched from multiple platforms, orbital stations, underwater bases, even modified commercial shipping vessels. "Adaptability is our greatest weapon," Wu Jin would often say. And the military was adapting faster than anyone could have imagined. The transformed nanoliquid represented more than a technological breakthrough. It was a symbol of human resilience. What was meant to destroy had been transformed into a tool of protection. As the first wave of specialized defense drones rolled out, something fundamental had changed. Humanity was no longer just fighting for survival. They were fighting back, and they were winning. The universe was about to learn a critical lesson. Never underestimate a species capable of turning its greatest threat into its most powerful defense. The industrial complex stretched for miles, a testament to human determination. Gisong watched as massive production lines transformed the landscape of human manufacturing. What had once been automobile factories and electronics plants were now dedicated to a single critical purpose: bottling the transformed nanoliquid. Specialized containment units rolled off the assembly lines. Each bottle was a marvel of engineering, quantum-sealed, molecularly reinforced, capable of holding the most dangerous and powerful substance humanity had ever created. HFY stood in the Diplomatic Communications Center. Her message to the Crixian Consortium was brutally simple: your weapon is now ours. Negotiate or face total elimination. The global economy had shifted overnight. Resources that once went into consumer goods now powered the great bottling operation. Every nation contributed. Every scientist, every engineer worked towards a single goal. In massive underground facilities, the transformed nanoliquid was carefully processed. What had been a weapon of total destruction was now being weaponized in a way the Crixian civilization could never have imagined. Each bottle represented more than a weapon. It was a statement of human capability. Ji-Sung's team developed specialized drone deployment systems. The bottles weren't just containers, they were precision delivery mechanisms. A single bottle could neutralize entire alien infrastructure systems in moments. The first global production milestone came faster than anyone expected. Within weeks, millions of bottles had been produced. Each one contained enough transformed nanoliquid to neutralize entire planetary systems. Industrial zones around the world worked in perfect synchronization. No longer were there competing national interests. This was a unified human effort. Quantum communication networks began broadcasting a clear message. The Crixian Consortium intercepted continuous streams of data showing humanity's new capabilities. Each transmission was a psychological weapon, a demonstration of total technological reversal. We're not just surviving, Ji-Sung told his team. We're showing them what humanity can do. The bottling process was complex. Each container required multiple layers of protection. Specialized materials developed from the marine bacteria research ensured that the nanoliquid remained stable, yet ready for immediate deployment. HFY's diplomatic communications became increasingly direct. Where previous human interactions with alien civilizations had been defensive, now they were purely offensive. The message was clear. Humanity was no longer asking for survival. They were demanding recognition. Global storage facilities began to fill. Underground complexes, orbital stations, deep-sea research platforms, all became repositories for the bottled nanoliquid. Each location was a potential launching point for a total defensive or offensive operation. The psychological impact was immediate. Intercepted Crixian communications showed growing panic. Their ultimate weapon had not just been neutralized, it had been completely transformed. Military strategists developed comprehensive deployment protocols. Each bottle was now a strategic asset. Drone swarms could distribute the transformed nanoliquid, with surgical precision, neutralizing alien technologies in seconds. Ji-Sung's team worked around the clock. Quality control was critical. Each bottle underwent multiple verification processes. The transformed nanoliquid had to be perfect, stable, deployable, and absolutely devastating to alien technologies. The great bottling was more than an industrial operation. It was a statement of human potential. Global communication networks began broadcasting subtle messages, images of the bottling facilities, carefully selected data streams, quantum communication fragments, all designed to send a clear message to the Crixian Consortium. We are not victims. We are not afraid. We are ready. As the millionth bottle rolled off the production line, humanity realized something fundamental had changed. They were no longer fighting for survival. They were preparing to fight back, and they were going to win. One bottle at a time. Retry SF, Part 5. Cosmic Retribution. Of the part in 900 words and only give me small story, it should be interesting and write it in third-person style, and it should be in simple and basic English. Use simple and basic English. And do not give headings edit. The first strike came, without warning. Jinho stood on the command deck of the primary Earth defense vessel. His fingers hovered above the deployment interface. Hundreds of specialized drones waited, each carrying carefully prepared bottles of the transformed nanoliquid. Yunseo's tactical display showed Crixian colony coordinates with perfect precision. Years of intercepted communications, quantum, data streams, and strategic analysis had prepared them for this moment. "Targets locked," she announced. The universe held its breath. Deployment was surgical. Each drone moved with impossible accuracy, guided by quantum navigation systems that made traditional space combat look primitive. The bottles weren't dropped. They were precisely positioned, their molecular contents ready to transform entire planetary systems. Crixian colonies began to change. Where they expected defense, they found complete molecular disassembly. Their most advanced technological infrastructure dissolved within minutes. Not destroyed, transformed into inert matter, rendering entire systems completely unusable. It wasn't just an attack. It was a complete systematic elimination of their ability to wage war. The first wave targeted communication centers. Alien quantum networks collapsed instantly. Their ability to coordinate or communicate became impossible. Entire administrative systems became nothing more than molecular dust. Jinho watched the tactical displays. Each green indicator represented a successful neutralization. No explosions, no traditional destruction, just complete technological elimination. "They designed a weapon to eliminate biological life," he muttered. "We've designed a method to eliminate their entire technological civilization." Yunseo's calculations had been perfect. The transformed nanoliquid didn't just neutralize. It completely restructured molecular systems, turning advanced alien technologies into basic harmless compounds. Crixian military responses were futile. Their most advanced defensive systems became useless. Shields, weapons, communication networks, all dissolved within moments of exposure. Intelligence reports suggested complete panic within the Crixian leadership. Their ultimate weapon had been completely reversed. Humanity hadn't just defended itself. It had turned the tables entirely. Orbital stations, planetary infrastructures, advanced technological complexes, all became targets. The bottled nanoliquid moved with intelligent precision, systematically, eliminating the Crixian civilization's ability to fight back. "We're not destroying," Yunseo explained to her team. "We're rendering them completely non-functional." The cosmic retribution was calculated. Each strike was strategic. Humanity wasn't seeking total extinction. They were demonstrating absolute technological superiority. Crixian diplomatic channels began requesting negotiations, but their communication systems were already compromised. Every attempt to reach out became another opportunity for molecular transformation. Jinho understood the deeper strategy. This wasn't just about survival. This was about establishing a new galactic order. Weeks of systematic strikes continued. The Crixian consortium watched helplessly as their entire civilization was systematically neutralized. Not through violence, through complete technological dismantling. "They thought we were weak," Jinho told his crew. "They never understood human adaptation." The final stages of the operation were almost anticlimactic. Where massive space battles were once expected, there was only precise molecular transformation. Entire planetary systems became nothing more than inert matter. Yunseo's final report was brutally simple. Total technological neutralization achieved. 0 human casualties. The message to the galaxy was clear. Humanity would not be a victim. Humanity would not be conquered. Humanity would adapt. As the last Crixian communication systems dissolved, a new reality emerged. The universe had just witnessed something unprecedented, a species that could turn its potential extinction into a method of total technological dominance. The cosmic retribution was complete. Humanity had not just survived. They had won. One molecular transformation at a time.